Well, I feel like this is my right. I was born to a Jewish mother. I was raised Jewish. I kept the high holy days, the Shabbat. It was just due to the difficulties and circumstances of the situation of my mom converting through a non-denominational synagogue that forced me to convert to make my Judaism official to the state of Israel.
Right. Now, you underwent at first a conservative conversion in the United States, correct?
Yes. So I met Rabbi Bills through my aunt. My aunt is also a conservative Jew. She lives right across the street from the synagogue in Wilmington, Delaware, and she put me in connection with Rabbi Bills during when I was in college, and ever since our relationship has grown.
Right. And then I understand you even had to go to after some. I'm going to explain, and we have to give the point of the Interior Ministry. One of its objections was said that it was objecting because your purpose to come to Israel was specifically to play basketball for one of the pro basketball teams.
Yeah, so that was one of my denial reasonings, was I only wanted to play basketball. But I think that is very objective, and it doesn't show my sincerity because I sacrificed 2 years of my life when I was already a Jew, something I felt that I had a right of when I was born to a Jewish mother. You know, I lived a Jewish life, and I did all the extra steps and necessities that needed to be done to consider my Judaism real to the state of Israel.
Right, and you underwent a second conversion here in Israel. Did you? No, you didn't. But you did. You went back to the States, and they also were objecting because your conversion was initially done by Zoom.
Yeah. So my conversion due to the coronavirus was done over Zoom. I was informed that also the rabbinute was done over Zoom during that time. But I went into the mikveh in person. I had a Beit Din. So everything was halakha. It was just the fact that my teaching was done over Zoom due to the national pandemic and the health and safety of everyone.
Right. Are there either organizations or legal counsel helping you now in your dispute with the Interior Ministry?
Yes, so I hired some lawyers to help me. I had so many influential Jewish activists, the people in the Jewish community here in Israel and in the United States that have been wanting to help me, people through the Jewish Agency. So it's a lot of people that's on my side in this case, and I think that is very obstructive and injustice of what has happened to me during this time.
Right. Now, Jared, there are those who say, and they point to some high-profile cases, that the Interior Ministry has been especially reluctant to take in converts of color who go through the Reform and Conservative conversions that are supposedly under law supposed to be recognized. We had a very certainly publicized case, actually, of someone originally African-American who went through a Orthodox conversion, who had to go through a hunger strike to even get it. Do you feel that's your case? Do you feel, I know this is something of a subjective judgment, but do you feel that that is a factor in your dispute with the Interior Ministry?
I do, but I don't. I think it's a little bit discriminatory because of a sport. I was told that since sports are very sincere here, but I think it's really just ignorance. I don't think the ministry actually really investigated my case or really even wanted to investigate my case. And I think that's the issue. That is just a total misunderstanding. And if that we was able to sit down and, you know, be able to explain to one another what happened or my view and their view, but they're not cooperative. You know, it's just they're right and I'm wrong. And I think that's the part that very injustice. You know, we all make mistakes. We all have to learn from mistakes. But for them, it's just, I'm just a convert that wants to play basketball. I've never been a Jew.
Right. We should note that many noted basketball players in Israel prior in the history were African Americans who underwent conversion. In fact, some of the most famous in Israel. You, in fact, underwent a conversion with a very prominent rabbi in the United States, some who even have referred to him as Joe Biden's rabbi.
Yeah. So our relationship has built, I mean, from day one. We had a good connection.
His name is?
Rabbi Michael Bills.
Right.
And me and Rabbi Bills talk constantly. I talked to him yesterday. He's fighting this. He's a believer in me. He feels that I deserve to be an Israeli citizenship. He didn't even feel like I needed to convert it. So for him, you know, this is bigger than just basketball or anything.
Right. I do want to explain, your mother grew up in a synagogue, as you said, was not officially recognized by the Reform or conservative movements. That's why you've had to go through the conversion process. Have you gotten support from, we know the resistance you're finding in the Interior Ministry. Have you gotten support from Israelis for your cause?
Yeah, so I went on birthright here. I have many Israeli friends that are supporting me that feel the same way I do, that it's, very injustice, and they feel like I should be, welcome to Israel with open arms. So
right, you just mentioned, but I do want to explain, you did come to Israel on Project Birthright.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I had a great trip. My rabbi, during the 9-month of participation that you have to do after your conversion, he suggested that I go on it. It was a great time to be able to tour the country, and I was actually on the last trip before they closed for COVID. So it was a very special trip. We still have a group chat. I talked to them about the situation. They all are supporting me and are in a fight with me, but I really enjoyed it, and I still have friends to this day from it.
All right. Well, Jared Armstrong, we'll see, and we wish you luck in your quest to get, I guess, what you see as your birthright here in the state of Israel.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us on The Rundown, Jared.
All right.